This is 4 minutes for Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. Ready? It's fine, I guess. It's whatever. Spoilers for everything. It feels like they saw the reactions to Last Jedi and Solo, and then they just locked themselves in a room with a mountain of cocaine, just throwing out ideas left and right. It's so scatterbrained that I don't even know how they expected people to react. There's completely random scenes with no emotion or feeling in them at all, but there's also moments that are so heavy-handed and manipulative with the cues. After watching it, I was left distinctly with the feeling that I have with Batman v Superman, and funny enough, it's the same screenwriter. So when you learn about that, a lot of the weird jumps and contrivances and convenience of it all starts to make sense, as well as the fan divide. The beginning I thought was actually not bad. I think Kylo might have been my favorite character in the whole movie. The Palpatine thing it's okay. I understand that force-wise this is something that could happen and has been established. I just wish they had peppered in little clues and hinted at it throughout the rest of the trilogy. I feel like it would have been a much better payoff for the attentive fans. I'm also mostly okay with the Snoke clones. I know I said that I didn't want them to rewrite and retcon stuff, especially from The Last Jedi, but again, I like the concept that the Emperor has kind of been in the shadows this whole time, manipulating everything to his liking. After that, the stuff at the Resistance base is really weak. You can tell that they used pieced together footage of Leia and it just feels really stiff and awkward. I did like the glimpses of the main trio working together. I wished we had seen more of that throughout the trilogy, and with Poe being a little bit less of a dick. The two new female characters are also stupid because their only point is to serve as cop-out romances for the other characters. Then we hit the biggest twist, Rey being a Palpatine. Despite being an insane retcon from The Last Jedi, I think it works well enough, but it could have been done a lot better. She's clearly very drawn to the dark side and has a lot of power innately in her, so it kind of explains that. But I think it would have been cooler if the Emperor created her through the Force or something, and then people stole and tried to hide her. I know that's kind of a weird thing similar to Anakin. I'm just trying to avoid any opportunity to think of the Emperor doing it. Luke got a better moment this time around, and I actually really liked that they showed a little bit of Leia's training and her having a lightsaber and stuff. The whole concept of Palpatine wanting Rey to kill him so the Sith could live on is kind of interesting on paper. It kind of brings about that rule of two idea, but it's just so sloppy in execution when it's intercut with all of the other fighting, and then the way that she kills him with the crossed lightsabers reflecting the lightning back at him, it's so weak. I mean, come on, Palpatine, you should have learned from the first time. Then there is the unnecessary stupid ass kiss, but I did like Kylo being a little more expressive and having that goofy smile. All in all, the end was really weak, tons of very forced emotion, and that stupid sunset ending. The light speed skipping thing is so lax and lazy and just totally ignores the technical side of that. The Force dyad bond I'm split on, because on one hand, as something the Force can do, it feels totally insane to me. But on the other hand, it's something that they set up and paid off pretty well throughout the whole trilogy. The best way I can describe this thing is like a pinball machine. It's just bouncing around, totally sporadic. It operates in 10-minute chunks of quality going back and forth. It's so delirious in that way, and also in the way that it robs us of any stakes or tension. It's always hard being the end of the trilogy. I feel like the third film is usually the weakest, but I think this one is set up to fail by being a culmination of the other movies that came before it and doubling down on the things that they did. Skywalker turns up the insanity and the callbacks and the Disney action movie feeling all the way up to 11. People are incredibly split on this, so I don't know if I'd recommend it or not. For me, it's a mess. It's at times fun, at times aggravating, so I'm giving it a 5.5 out of 10, ranking it just below The Last Jedi on my list, and done.